The Iberian Peninsula is currently grappling with the devastating aftermath of Storm Kristin, a powerful Atlantic system that has brought much of Spain to a standstill. Following a deadly passage through Portugal, where it claimed at least 6 lives and broke national wind speed records, the storm barreled into Spain on January 28, 2026, triggering red alerts, closing hundreds of schools, and burying the capital in a rare, heavy blanket of snow. In an unusual turn for late January, the storm's cold front met moisture over central Spain, dumping significant snow across the Community of Madrid, Castile and León, and Castile-La Mancha. While downtown Madrid saw moderate accumulation, the northern and western neighborhoods were turned white, causing severe traffic jams. The A6 motorway, a vital artery connecting Madrid to the northwest, was among the 170 roads affected by snow, leaving many drivers trapped for hours. State-owned rail operator Adif reported delays of up to 120 minutes on high-speed lines between Madrid and Barcelona, as trains were forced to slow to 160 kilometers per hour due to icy tracks. While the north froze, the south and east faced violent winds. The State Meteorological Agency, AMET, issued a rare red alert for the Almanzora Valley and Los Vales in the province of Almeria, where gusts were forecast to reach a terrifying 130 kilometers per hour, 80 miles per hour. In the coastal town of Torremolinos, the storm turned fatal when strong winds toppled a palm tree, killing a woman. The province of Almeria, known as Europe's vegetable garden, suffered catastrophic damage to its greenhouse sector. Flooding and collapsed retaining walls have devastated berry and vegetable crops. Along the Atlantic coast in Galicia, waves exceeding 8 meters were recorded, prompting emergency warnings for all seaside infrastructure. Regional authorities acted swiftly as the storm intensified. In Andalusia, in-person schooling was suspended in parts of Almeria, Malaga, and Cadiz. Similarly, all educational centers in Extremadura and the autonomous city of Ceuta were closed to ensure student safety. Emergency services across the country, particularly in Andalusia, have responded to over 2,000 weather-related incidents, ranging from fallen trees and flooded basements to power outages. Although grid operators are working around the clock, thousands remain without power in rural regions. As of January 30th, Storm Kristin has begun to ease in provinces like Malaga, but the respite may be short-lived. Meteorologists warn that another system is expected to arrive by Sunday, January 31st, threatening to bring more rain and potential flooding to already saturated ground. Travelers and residents are advised to monitor the official AMET website for real-time updates and to avoid non-essential travel in mountainous areas where ice remains a critical hazard. Meanwhile, the province of Granada is currently facing a dual-threat weather emergency as Storm Kristin sweeps across the Andalusia region. Following its catastrophic path through Portugal and Central Spain, the storm has brought a volatile mix of torrential rains, high-altitude snowfall, and overflowing rivers to the Granada province, triggering significant infrastructure damage and travel paralysis. The Copernicus Emergency Management Service, EMS, has placed the Guadalquivir River basin under close surveillance. Heavy rainfall in the mountains has caused water levels to surge, with forecasts predicting a major river overflow that will directly affect the low-lying plains of Granada, Jaén, and Córdoba. Emergency mapping is currently being conducted to assess the flood extent in urban areas near the riverbanks. While the lower valleys of Granada grapple with water, the Sierra Nevada and surrounding mountain ranges have been hit by heavy snowfall. The A395 road, the primary artery to the Sierra Nevada ski resort, has faced intermittent closures and mandatory use of snow chains. In the northern part of the province, the A92N motorway in Baza was among the key routes closed due to the severity of the storm, leaving travelers stranded in the harsh winter conditions. Similar to neighboring Almeria, Granada's agricultural sector, particularly in the coastal and inland greenhouses, is reporting early signs of damage. Farmers are concerned that persistent precipitation and hail will lead to crop diseases and structural collapses of older greenhouse facilities. Local authorities have urged residents to avoid all non-essential travel in the Baza and Sierra Nevada areas. The State Meteorological Agency, AEMET, maintains active alerts for the region, warning that the ground is already saturated, which increases the risk of flash flooding if further rain bands persist over the same areas. For the latest updates on road closures and weather warnings, residents are advised to check the official EMET Granada portal. Meanwhile, the province of Jaén is currently on high alert as Storm Kristin delivers a brutal combination of torrential rain, localized flooding, and high-altitude snowfall. As the storm system pivots through the Guadalquivir Valley, Jaén has become one of the most critically affected zones in Andalusia, leading to the suspension of schools, the closure of key mountain passes, and a looming crisis for the region's vital olive oil sector. Intense rainfall exceeding 80 millimeters in 12 hours has caused several small tributaries to burst their banks, flooding agricultural land and threatening rural residential areas. Emergency protocols have been activated at major dams in the province to manage the sudden inflow of water, preventing catastrophic downstream flooding, but raising concerns for low-lying fields. While the valleys are flooding, the high peaks of the Sierra de Segura and Sierra de Cazorla are buried under heavy snow. The Spanish Directorate General for Traffic, DGT, has reported that several regional roads in the Jaén Mountains are impassable. The A317 and A6301 have seen mandatory closures for heavy vehicles, with passenger cars required to use snow chains. Heavy rain and fog have significantly slowed traffic on the A4 motorway, Autovía del Sur, the crucial link between Andalusia and Madrid, causing delays of over 2 hours near the Despeñaperros Pass. In response to the deteriorating conditions, the Junta de Andalucía took the preemptive step of suspending classes in several municipalities within the province. Educational centers in the most high-risk areas of Jaén were closed to prevent the movement of students during the peak of the storm. The 112 Andalusia Emergency Coordination Center has managed over 150 incidents in Jaén alone, primarily involving fallen trees, landslides on secondary roads, and flooded basements in urban centers like Linares and the capital, Jaén City. As the world's leading producer of olive oil, Jaén faces a significant economic threat. The timing of Storm Kristin has interrupted the tail end of the harvest. Farmers report concerns over severe soil erosion in sloping groves due to the velocity of runoff. Fieldwork has been halted indefinitely until the ground dries, which may affect the final quality and yield of the remaining crop. Meanwhile, the province of Córdoba is currently facing its most severe meteorological crisis in years as Storm Kristin hammers the heart of Andalusia. The storm, which evolved from a potent Atlantic depression, has settled over the Guadalquivir Valley, bringing a perfect storm of torrential rains and historic river swells. As of January 30th, 2026, large sectors of the province remain under emergency status, with infrastructure buckling under the pressure of the rising waters. The defining feature of Storm Kristin in Córdoba has been the rapid rise of the Guadalquivir River. According to the Copernicus Emergency Management Service, EMS, the river has reached its critical flood stage in several sections. In the capital city of Córdoba, the river has breached its banks in the lower-lying areas near the Roman Bridge, forcing the evacuation of several riverside establishments and parking facilities. Municipalities such as Almodóvar del Río and Palma del Río are on high alert. The confluence of the Genil and Guadalquivir rivers has created a massive surge of water, threatening agricultural heartlands and residential urbanizaciones located near the riverbeds. Travel across the province has become nearly impossible in many rural sectors. The Spanish Directorate General for Traffic, DGT, has issued severe warnings for the following routes. Heavy rain and localized flooding have caused significant bottlenecks on the A4, Autovía del Sur, between Córdoba and Seville. Visibility is near zero during peak downpours, leading to several multi-vehicle accidents. Over 20 regional roads in the Campiña and Sierra Morena regions have been closed due to standing water or mudslides. The high-speed AVE train lines connecting Córdoba to Madrid and Málaga are operating with significant speed restrictions, leading to delays of up to 90 minutes. Following the protocols of the Junta de Andalucía, the regional government took the drastic step of suspending all in-person educational activities. Classes in the most affected municipalities, including parts of the Valle de los Pedroches, were cancelled to minimize traffic and protect students. The 112 Andalusia service has processed over 200 emergency calls in Córdoba since the storm began. Most calls involve flooded basements, fallen trees, and motorists trapped in their vehicles while attempting to cross flooded low-water bridges. The Campiña de Córdoba, famous for its cereal and olive production, has suffered a major blow. Thousands of hectares of winter crops are currently submerged. Farmers fear that the lack of oxygen in the waterlogged soil will lead to total crop failure for this season. In the northern Guadalquivir Valley, civil guard units and farmers have been working through the night to relocate livestock to higher ground as streams turned into raging torrents. Meanwhile, the Iberian Peninsula is currently grappling with the devastating aftermath of Storm Kristin, a powerful Atlantic system that has brought the Spanish capital to a near standstill. Following a deadly passage through Portugal, where it claimed at least 6 lives and broke national wind speed records, the storm barreled into Spain on Wednesday, January 28, 2026, triggering emergency alerts and burying Madrid in a rare, heavy blanket of snow. In an unusual turn for January, the storm's cold front met moisture over the central plateau, dumping significant snow across the community of Madrid, Castile and León, and Castile-La Mancha. While downtown Madrid saw accumulations of less than an inch, the northern and western neighborhoods were turned white, causing severe gridlock as the city struggled to cope with the rare conditions. The A6 motorway, a vital artery connecting Madrid to the northwest, was forced to close between Guadarrama and Aravaca, leaving dozens of vehicles stranded in the snow. Public transport saw massive disruption, with several bus services suspended on the outskirts and significant delays on the Cercanías commuter rail lines. Madrid-Barajas Airport was also forced to slow operations as technical teams worked to de-ice runways and aircraft. Bus drivers in suburban areas like Las Rozas reported that roads became completely impassable as thick flakes fell onto already icy surfaces, forcing the suspension of numerous routes mid-transit. Schools across the Madrid region and southern areas like Andalusia were shuttered on Wednesday and Thursday as authorities prioritized safety. In addition to the snow, wind gusts of up to 110 miles per hour were reported in parts of the peninsula. In the province of Malaga, the storm turned fatal when a falling tree killed a woman, highlighting the extreme danger of the weather beast. While Portugal suffered the worst of the power cuts, affecting nearly 1 million people, rural parts of Madrid also experienced localized outages due to fallen power lines and tree branches.